The noodles that cause chronic inflammation, weight gain, Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease. The instant noodles are popular among people who don't have time for lunch or dinner. You may consider them as a healthy food, or at least not that bad as fries and burger or burrito. The Massachusetts General Hospital's experiment of Dr. B. Kuo used a pill-sized camera to see what is happening inside the stomach and the digestive tracts when you consume ramen noodles. The results were shocking. After 2 hours the noodles were remarkably intact, and this is concerning for numerous reasons. It may be a string put on the digestive system that is forced to work long to break down the highly processed foods. When the food has remained in the digestive system for a long time, it impacts the nutrient absorption, but the ramen noodles do not have much nutrients but a list of additives like TBHQ, toxic preservative tertiary butyl hydroquinone. The TBHQ will remain in the digestive system with the invincible noodles, and it isn't known what it does to our health. This additive is a byproduct of the petroleum industry and it is listed as antioxidant, but this asynthetic chemical that has antioxidant properties isn't a natural antioxidant. These chemicals are preventing the oxidation of oils and fats and extending the processed food's shelf life. It is used in processed foods like Taco Bell beans, Red Baron frozen pizza, Teddy Grahams Wheat Thins crackers, Reese's peanut butter cups, Kellogg's cheese IT crackers, McDonald's chicken nuggets and much more. It can also be found in perfumes, cosmetics, pesticide products, lacquers and varnishes. This additive was determined safe for consumption at levels of 0 to 0.5 milligrams kilogram of the body weight at the Joint FAO/WHO Expert Committee on Food Additives 19th and 21st meetings. The Codex Commission has set the maximum limits to 100 to 400 milligrams kilogram depending on the food that it is added to. In the United States, the Food and Drug Administration required that the additive mustn't exceed 0.02% of its fat and oil content. TBHQ, according to the A Consumer's Dictionary of Food Additives, can cause vomiting, nausea, tinnitus, ringing in the ears, delirium, sense of suffocation and collapse. If you consume instant noodles, the body may get prolonged exposures. According to the EWG, Environmental Working Groups, which is based on animal studies, the TBHQ includes effects over the liver at very low doses, positive results of mutation from in vitro tests in the mammalian cells, biochemical changes at low doses, and reproductive effects at high doses. If you still want to consume ramen noodles for your lunch, you should know that the Journal of Nutrition's study found the women that have eaten more instant noodle has bigger risk of metabolic syndrome than those ones who consumed less. Those ones who consumed noodles more than 2 times per week were 68% more likely to have metabolic syndrome, which is a group of symptoms like low levels of HDL cholesterol, elevated fasting triglycerides, elevated fasting blood sugar, elevated blood pressure and central obesity. Having 3 or more than 3 symptoms is increasing the risk of developing cardiovascular disease or diabetes. A research analyzed the nutrient intake between those who consume noodles and those who don't and found that consuming noodles contributes little value to a healthy diet. People who consume instant noodles had a lower nutrient intake like vitamin C, niacin, vitamin A, potassium, iron, phosphorus, calcium and protein compared with people who don't consume noodles. Also, the noodle consumers have an excessive energy intake, sodium and unhealthy fats. Also, the noodles contain salt, palm oil and wheat flour. Common ingredients of the flavoring powder are sugar, seasoning, monosodium glutamate and salt. The KFDA, Korea Food and Drug Administration, in 2012 found a cancer-causing substance called benzopyrene in 6 noodle brands from the Nongshim Company Limited. The MSG, monosodium glutamate, is the reason why you should avoid noodles, as it is an excitotoxin that overexcites the nerve cells, causing brain damage or dysfunction, or worsening or triggering learning disabilities like Lou Gehrig's disease, Parkinson's disease, Alzheimer's and more. The free glutamic acid is the same neurotransmitter that the pancreas, eyes, nervous system and brain use to initiate some body processes. MSG is also used to fat up the mice for scientific studies. If you want to get the perfect body weight, you should avoid MSG. Consuming a package of noodles won't kill you, but if you consume it constantly, it will develop many health problems. The processed foods, as noodles, encourage chronic disease or weight gain as they are high in artificial ingredients, refined carbohydrates, fructose and sugar, and they are low in fiber and nutrients. The processed foods are designed to make you overeat, and they encourage for food cravings, which leads to gaining weight. Consuming processed food promotes chronic inflammation and insulin resistance, the hallmarks of most serious and chronic diseases. Ditching the foods that are processed requires that you plan the meals in advance and take it step by step to painlessly eliminate the processed foods from the diet. You can plan a week of meals with all the needed ingredients, and you can also use the leftover for the next day for lunch, and you won't have to resort to instant noodles.